Yo, what's up, folks? It's Xavier, and I'm back again with another video. I hope you guys had an incredible weekend. I definitely had a great weekend. I enjoyed playing basketball at the park this past Saturday, and last night I was at my boy Sir Dragon's house watching Clash of Champions. So, I saw Texans girl did a rant about it. I'm still waiting for Mike Henry to do a rant about it. But in the meantime, I'm going to do a rant about this. But before I do that, this rant is brought to you by Rapper's Delight by Sugar Hill Gang. Today has been 40 years since the Sugar Hill Gang released the Rapper's Delight song, which changed the game of hip hop forever. And 40 years later, it's still a classic hip hop song. This rant is also brought to you by When Disaster Strikes and My Way. Today has been 22 years since Busta Rhymes released his second album, When Disaster Strikes, and Usher released his second album, My Way. Now, it's time to do a recap of yesterday's game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and yours truly, the Houston Texans. Let's review the highlights before I give my thoughts. First quarter, the Texans scored 3 touchdowns while the Jaguars scored nothing. Then both teams scored 3 touchdowns apiece in the second quarter. At halftime, Texans 6, Jaguars 3. Third quarter, neither team scored a touchdown. After 3, Texans 6, Jaguars 3. Texans were this close to losing this game. They came up short in the fourth quarter, scoring 7 touchdowns, and the Jaguars scored 9. Final score, Houston Texans 13, Jacksonville Jaguars 12. Now let's check to see who scored a touchdown. Gardner Minshew scored a touchdown. DJ Chark scored a touchdown. Or I may be reading from the wrong team. Recent birthday boy Deshaun Watson scored a touchdown. Has anybody else from the Texans scored a touchdown? Nope. I guess not. Looks like the only Texans that scored a touchdown was Deshaun Watson. But I got to get my thoughts. This was a horrible game. Even though the Texans won, it was still a horrible game. I'm like, what the hell was the Texans doing in the second half? Okay, let me put it like this. We were pretty decent and shit in the first half. Okay, fine. But then in the second half, it feels like the Texans wasn't even trying anymore. I believe they were all still drunk from Deshaun Watson's recent birthday, which was this past Saturday. I could tell that the Texans was not prepared for this game yesterday, especially if they was going to get drunk at Deshaun Watson's birthday party. But Deshaun Watson better be lucky that he had the best birthday present, and that was for the Texans to win this game. We got to get our shit together. That was not an easy win. The Texans barely dodged a bullet. But we're undefeated at the crib, 1-0. Our next game is this Sunday against the LA Chargers. Then on the 29th, we're back at the crib taking on the Carolina Panthers. Then on October 6th, of the day of WWE Hell in a Cell, we take on the ATL Falcons as we pay tribute to the late CEO and founder of the Houston Texans, Robert McNair. I mean, we were great last week on Monday Night Football, even though we lost to the Saints. But this game right here yesterday was not an easy win for the Texans. I thought they was going to win big, just like they did last year when they went against the Jaguars. But they only won by 1 point, 13-12. The Texans are now 1-1. In the meantime, that's going to wrap up my thoughts about yesterday's game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Let me know what you guys think. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Hit subscribe. Click on the notification bell for the next video. And I will catch you in a minute about my thoughts on this past weekend's games between the Houston Astros and the Kansas City Royals. Go Houston Texans.